It's Friday night, and that can only mean I'm gonna get in lazy clothes and boot up Nightreign. I'm so excited to get my butt kicked. So many bosses to choose from, and which one was picked?
Should we find Libra? Oh yeah, go on then.
No! Hello and welcome to PlayStation Access. My name is Rosie and I'm still thinking about Elden Ring Nightreign a lot. Honestly, you think after defeating all the bosses that would be it, right? Nope! Not only have I been tackling the Everdark version of the Night Lords alongside my friends, these bosses essentially being much tougher versions of the standard fight where you start at phase 2 and go into a new third phase, but my friends and I have been sending each other tips we found on each fight. We've been updating each other on how we've got on playing with strangers or doing solo runs. Sorry, how they've been getting on with the solo runs. I haven't dared. And my social media is filled with memes and funny videos about Nightreign. And yes, we send each other all of them. Honestly, the amount of videos I've seen of people being hit by the trolls throwing the pots, and I feel their pain. But there's one adventure that stands out from all of our other runs, one which we still reference even after we've all put in probably over 80 hours since it happened. Because only one run led us to pure chaos, and made me do a big swear, I won't lie. And I wanted to share it with you all. So here's the story of that one boss that made my friends and I absolutely lose it. Now, it feels only proper to start this video with some introductions. For those of you who may not know what game I'm even talking about, let me introduce you to Elden Ring Nightreign, a roguelite action-adventure from developer From Software, which released earlier this year and is a separate game from their previous Elden Ring game, Elden Ring. So you can play Nightreign without playing the first Elden Ring game. You can play it as a single-player experience, but it's torture, or in multiplayer online, as you can team up with your friends or strangers, either as duos or as a group of 3. The basic premise is that you've been asked to take out a big bad boss, this one down here. But in order to do that, you need to defeat other bosses first. These bosses are called Night Lords, and to access them, you need to select an expedition from this big table in your hub area called the Round Table Hold, also known as the Rolly Breaking Chairs Room, and survive 3 days and 2 nights, followed by a third night, which is a battle with the Night Lord itself. In the days, you need to prepare yourself as much as possible for the fight with the Night Lord. This includes leveling up by fighting enemies and mini-bosses, gaining new equipment which gives your character perks and applies the Night Lord's weakness, getting healing flasks and talismans, upgrading your weapons, raising your resistances to things such as poison. There's lots you need to consider. But these days are timed, and when your time is up, the Night's Reign, there it is, will close in, forcing you to a specific circle in the map. And do you know what's coming up in this circle area? A warm-up fight and a boss fight! Yay! After the boss in Night 2, you go to this nice area where nothing can harm you for your final preparations to fight the Night Lord. And then you go through these epic doors to fight the Night Lord you chose. And since this game is a roguelite, it means that the weapons you find, the locations of buildings, and the bosses you fight change after every run, so there's only so much planning ahead you can do. Now, my story focuses on one Night Lord, so let me introduce you to Libra, Creature of the Night. This Night Lord is the final boss of the Equilibrious Beast expedition. And it's a pain in the... Oh, Rosie, why do you think it's such a pain? Well, for starters, its main weakness is madness, which is one of the rarest statuses to appear on the map. And even if you do find a camp which is filled with madness goodies, good luck getting an item which will actually help! You'll get a few boluses, which raise your madness resistance, and that split between 3 players means like 1 each. Unless you're greedy and take all of them for yourself! But that's pretty much it. And as for weapons, if we look at the Elden Ring Nightreign wiki page, we will see that out of all the weapons this game offers, 2 weapons, and a shield to be fair, cause madness damage. And these skills and spells can pop up whenever they feel like it. So good luck preparing for one of the hardest status effects, Night Buddy! And the most common madness attack I've seen is one where you spit madness out of your head. But the problem is, this only triggers when you're walking, which you can already gather is not ideal when you're in the final boss fight of a game where literally every boss jumps and runs around all over the place in a massive arena! But what does this boss actually do? Well, it offers you a deal which you'd think, wow, that's great, but it comes with a cost, so I tend to not do it.
It is done.
So you say, no thank you trading merchant, and head back home to your friends and family after 3 days of being a very hard-working nightfarer. Only you don't! Because of course, it shows its true form. A demon goat with a stick. They summon really big rings on the floor which are very powerful and can stun you, little showers of madness around them, and a plate which sometimes rotates, shooting even more madness at you. They do a jump attack, and if they can't be bothered to jump, they just love teleporting straight into your personal bubble and immediately doing an attack. They swing their big stick, create floor water fountains of madness, make the entire battlefield coated in madness. Oh, but it's okay, guys, because the boss drops these little madness-resistant sparkle things you need to run around and grab to prevent your madness meter bar going up, so it's all fine. And finally, they go into this bubble to essentially charge up to get really strong for a certain amount of time. You can cancel it by doing loads of damage to the bubble, or by breaking these madness emblem things around them. But this will mean they absolutely lose it and have a massive tantrum. But if you don't interrupt this charge, their attacks get a lot stronger, which is just the absolute worst. And finally for introductions. Yes, that's right, I'm still doing introductions. These are my friends. This is Kevin and this is Kirby, and they've been joining me through the majority of my Nightreign adventures. Say hello, everyone! When we've been trying to defeat bosses for the first time, we have our, what we now call, classic team. I am I and I love my boy. Kevin is Wilder and Kirby is Duchess. And this was the exact same setup we had when fighting the Libra at the time. So, before our fateful run on the 30th of June 2025, we had done a few bosses already. We tried to tackle them in order of appearance on this chart, unless an Everdark version appeared as they were a timed event. And we wanted them done. But before we even booted up the Equilibrious Beast expedition, we were already shivering in our boots. Because as I mentioned earlier, we knew madness was its weakness, and knew that it was a tough status to work with. I should add that even though the game says that madness is its weakness, holy also works, so we were focusing on holy damage. But it was time to stop delaying the inevitable battle. We tried it once before, did terribly, and then focused on the Everdark bosses a bit again. But then we had a phase where we were committed. So on our fateful run, we were on our 4th attempt after doing this boss back to back. And these attempts were all the same story. Run around for 40 minutes, get to the boss, die. Ow. This boss was kicking our butts. And it wasn't only our characters who were taking a beating, emotionally, we were too. We were calling out all of the enemies for their nonsense and singing the Venga Boys because as soon as it pops in your head, it's stuck there. The Venga bus is coming and everybody's jumping. But we persisted. On night 2, we were already on level 15, the max level you can be. We took out the Crucible Knight and his mate the Hippo with ease. Look at that health bar go down! We leveled up our main weapons to gold status, exchanged weapons as they may have been more useful with someone else, made our final purchases, and it was time.
The time is ripe.
I want to do it again. Off we went, slashing, stabbing, shooting, until Kirby got taken down. This literally happened within the first 20 seconds of the fight, lol Kirby. We got him up quickly. We carried on attacking and dodging. Kirby went down again. Oh, Kirby, mate. But Kevin got him back up. Kirby went down again. Oh, Kirby. I should say that I did ask Kirby if I could point out his unlucky run in this video, and he said it was all fine. Not that I could avoid it anyway, because he died so often. Wait! I nearly died getting Kirby back up because look at this combo rubbish. We lived through the madness void, carried on fighting. I went down when trying to help Kirby as the Libra went lol, hello. But Kevin used his ultimate so I could stand again. Kirby was alive again. The Libra was losing it. We broke its bubble of annoyance. Our health flasks were getting low, but it's okay. We're still doing all right. Just keep calm. I'm the man with the sticks. I've got this. Roll, roll. Time my shots. Shoot from afar. Roll. Kirby is down again! Kirby, I'm so sorry this is happening! Kevin distracts the Libra. I help Kirby. I hate that teleporting move so much! I think Kirby at this point was saying, focus on the boss, leave me! So Kevin and I continued, Kirby watching from afar. But Kevin went down! Libra agitatingly coming for me! I won't do this alone, come back Kevin! There we go! Their health is so close to their name now, we're so close! Kevin missed his attack and got punished for it with death. Kirby's still watching from afar. It's just me and the Libra, and I have no more health. This is it! But wait! The Libra is charging its bubble. Kevin, you're coming back. I can't do this alone. Just keep calm. Keep calm. Keep calm. We're calm. Kevin, no! Okay, just myself and the Libra then. After doing this run so many times, we're so nearly there. My heart is about to jump out of the window at this rate. I'm so stressed. Kirby and Kevin are rooting for me in my ears in the party chat. I'm just a little man with his little sticks. Please! Here we go! This is it! I'm sorry, what do you mean? Oh, I have one more shot left to kill me, but I'm going to put the floor trap right by the back of your heel, which you can't see. And then whilst you're stumbling, lol, here's my ranged attack. You can barely see the floor trap, which got me. What nonsense! I can't emphasize enough how infuriated I was by this moment. I was absolutely locked in when it happened. We've all had this. You're focusing so much on a fight in the game, your dinner could be burning in the oven and you wouldn't notice it. All of my senses were honed in on these crucial seconds, only to be immediately pulled out of the land of focus because of a startling attack I could hardly see. But that was it, I thought. All of our efforts were for nothing. I can't handle another attempt at this boss after all that. I'm going to have to call it here tonight. Only that wasn't it! Because as soon as I went down, I screamed, "No!" Turned to look at my friends who were also battered on the floor. Only Kirby stood up. And Kevin ran up to me, and the Night Lord had fallen. What just happened? I was so stunned and confused, I literally made my character run up to Kevin and Kirby as if these characters were the actual people I was speaking to, and Kevin explained to us that he had a Wending Grace. A Wending Grace is a rare golden item in the game which allows you to raise once when everyone in your team is down. It's an incredibly valuable item, but it was one that Kevin didn't tell us he had. So I did this whole fight as if it was a life or death battle, only to learn that Kevin had a sneaky way of coming back to life. I can't believe Kevin did it, but I will give him credit, it does mean I wasn't being complacent with my fighting. But it turns out that when I died, the Libra had released a charge attack towards me, missed as I was dead, but Kevin was right behind me. So he just stood up and...
It was done.
The Libra went down, Kirby stood up, I followed shortly after, and when Kevin said that he had a Wending Grace he didn't tell us about, I couldn't believe it. And in a moment of pure tension and emotional release, I roughly said, What? You, Kevin! And we all laughed, as we couldn't believe we'd finally done this boss and couldn't believe my emotional outburst. I admit I did do some rather big swears, but I had to release that tension in my brain in some form. And I'm sure we've all had moments similar to this. For weeks after this, Kevin and Kirby kept on saying to others, "You wouldn't believe what Rosie said," followed by much laughter. We told everyone about our achievements, even those who knew nothing about Nightreign. And whenever we get battered by another boss, we look back on this boss and think it can't get worse than that. And then the Everdark Libra came out and it was so much worse. So this was my fun little story on that one boss that made my friends and I absolutely lose it. I hope you enjoyed it. Do you have a moment like this you'd like to share? If so, please let me know in the comments. Also, if you liked this video, please feel free to give it a like, subscribe to PlayStation Access for more content like this, and hit the notification bell so you stay up to date with everything from the world of PlayStation. Thank you all so much for watching, and thank you to Kevin and Kirby for helping me capture this fight once again.
PlayStation